It's incredible. Almost no one is believing me when I tell this. Even very successful entrepreneurs actually struggle with this, what we want to talk about today, when it comes to hard times in their business. And I realized then either they delegate the thing, that's not bad actually, if the person who takes the thing on is very qualified and doing it according to the values, or they do it on their own, or just ghost the topic, meaning like we will get a solution anyway, we will see what time brings, right? And that's actually what is shocking me, because it's no solution. It's no solution. Customer and clients gets angry. Don't get me wrong, it could also be that a customer gets angry when we do it like I suggest to you today. Because if you act aligned, it's not always funny or nice for everyone, especially when those people want to test you. But let's go deep now. I actually realized that it's so important that we allow ourselves to create our own rules. And this may be stunning for some of us. Of course, I do my own rules. Of course, I create my business. Of course, I create my world, my kingdom, right? But let me tell you, as soon as it gets critical, as soon as someone is literally testing your boundaries, you will actually not talk the same way again. You will not tell again, of course, I have my rules. Of course, I create my clear values. Of course, I create my own business rules. Because the most of us are actually subconsciously conditioned so that we want to please others. We want to please others. We want to create a peaceful environment. We don't want that anyone is angry, or that anyone is not happy enough, or especially, this is actually a bad one. We don't want that others talk about us behind our back badly, right? We want actually to prevent that. We want, in the end, we don't realize, because it's subconsciously, how much we are conducted and led from the thing we want to prevent, so that it would not happen what we are worried about, right? And the only solution, that we are not as flexible, or especially, I mean, you can be flexible when it's according to your rules, but when we are flexible, literally like others can do with us whatever they want, it's not really on a high level respectful relationship. And guess what? New people, new potential clients feel that. They feel that they can do with you whatever they want, right? And that's not the goal. That's really not the goal. It's so important that we really get this clarity. And the only thing what you can do is actually be brave, save a few very beautiful hours for you, sit down, write write it down with a good book, and get clear about following three things. The first is, what are the rules which are very important for your business? Rules who creates boundaries. This is like the wall around your kingdom. This is necessary because with this wall, you actually not only protect yourself as a queen or a king, but also the whole court in this castle, and also everyone who is living in this kingdom. You literally protect them with your boundaries, which is the wall, right? So boundaries may feel for something like something, oh no, I hate it. I don't want to be confronted with boundaries of others. That's bad feeling, and I don't want to create bad feeling to others as soon as they would meet my boundaries, right? But let's be honest, this would only mean that you are actually not capable to hold your congruency and to stand for something clear, and you would be like flexible like a gum, and people could do with you whatever they want. And yes, some may still be successful with that. It's possible, really, especially when they delegate the hard things and the team or the company itself is accidentally creating some boundaries or, let's say, rules. But it's so much better when you actually sit down, connect with your soul, and you ask for the rules who are meant for you, who are coming from the bottom, from literally from the bottom of your heart. They are so clear, so aligned with your truth, with your true you, that you actually only smile, that you realize it's relieving to go and to live and to act according to your rules. So some rules, I want to give you some example of from my life. Some rules could be that you have a contract as soon as the client is coming, or that you that people have to pay upfront, or that you also want to offer several payments, right? Not only one payment. Or one rule could be that there is an onboarding process, and that you want to do the first session alone with your client. Or one rule could be first session is always with a coach in your team, whatever, right? You could also get as rules, we only have one payment partner, only PayPal, only Stripe, only whatever, only payment directly to the bank, whatever. This is everything like rule. A rule could be you want that every room is clean before the client is arriving, that for every client there is a welcome package, whatever it is, what you would love, what you love is a rule. In these rules must also be described. You must describe in this rule what is happening when things are not going well. I remember very good. I actually developed these first rules And you can actually also call them um, in German it's AGBs, terms and conditions, right? I actually developed my first terms and conditions with my first company after 2 years. I did not know that I should do that and that it would help me. But I realized I had then several clients, they just did with me what they wanted, literally. Um, and there were several cases in a short amount of time. And I did not understand why this happened. And the last one was the biggest one, actually. And then I realized it that literally my soul or God through my soul is talking to me and show me what I have to set up in my new terms and conditions. So the last case was I had a dog school at the time, and I newly offered a pension actually only for my clients. And one of my clients was a very beautiful woman. I really admired her. She came with a very small dog, and this dog just made with her whatever he wanted. It was very funny actually, but for her it was not funny. And I could help really good, but because she was open for the sensitive part, for the telepathy part, and it worked very, very well. So she asked me if her dog can be with me in my pension when they are in holidays, and this worked very beautiful. In the next year, she asked again, and I said yes. And in 2 days before this started, actually, she called me that no, actually, no, she did not call me. She actually brought two dogs, not only her dog. This was the second time. And she made the drama. She could not inform me. This is the dog of the neighbors, and they are in Italy, and for 2 months, and she forgot to tell it, blah, 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 blah. And I just realized I cannot take another dog without the permission of the owners. I must have the signature, because I had once an incident with dog getting very sick very fast, and we almost lost him, and I had to go to the how do you say, Tierarzt, the vet, yes. And it was awful. It was awful. I could save his life, but I had to hold what he lost very fast, very a lot of blood, and I had to hold his blood, whatever it was. So in the last minute, middle in the night, came this doctor and helped me, and we saved together the life of this dog. So I knew from this incident that's not good. When I have a dog here without permission of the owners, and I had always a little contract, a form they had to sign so that I was allowed to go to the vet where if there would be an accident or something. So I told her it's not possible, and she was so full of drama. She pressed all my buttons, and she was in a hurry. Actually, her husband also waited over there. They wanted to go now. It was very unfair. And this dog was looking in my eyes, and I could not say no in the end. So she had to promise me that the owners are calling me, and that if they would not sign the thing via email, that she would be responsible, and she had to sign it. So they signed it, and the others never signed. They never showed up. But this dog actually destroyed my whole pension. He bit everything. He destroyed it, made it. It was awful. Every toy, this dog was so aggressive, not against the other dogs or me, but against the furniture and everything. I had I had damages of over 2,000 Swiss francs. It was so awful. I had him for 10 days, and it was my worst 10 days. So I realized I have to do these terms and conditions. And I called the others. They had to come. They had to interrupt their um, holidays in the end. And they were so angry because of me, because of that, and to pay then 2,000 Swiss francs again. I mean, I would also be, right? And then this man who actually, her husband who actually then paid was, I mean, he was also very angry that they said yes to take the responsibility, right? So not my problem actually. But now you see, now I'm so much more experienced after 22 years. And at that time, I was so insecure. But I never forget when he actually came and he wanted to negotiate and again about this 2000. He came with the car parked in front of my legs and came to me very, very bad, like a big king 3 times bigger than me. I felt like that. And he talked to me very, very unfair, very, very, yeah. So I just listened. I was some part was freezed, and the other part just told me, listen, listen, listen. And when he was finished, I just told him, are you finished? Because if not, I will now immediately call the police. And we know each other. I was a police agent. He knew that. Actually, he and his wife, they bluffed about that with their colleagues. I will call the police, and then they make a protocol, and we will see what happens then. Because this here, and you and me know that, is not clean. And the only clean thing is that you now pay it. And then he took the phone, called the bank, and paid it. And then I went back to the apartment, and I was literally like only shaking, right? But I realized then I need these terms and conditions. I need these rules. I cannot always tell I was a police agent, right? So this was actually the first very, very good experience, even if it was so hard. But I could then actually form and be open to my soul and God for my aligned, how I wanna have it, for my aligned rules. And I started to write a list. Every day I had new ideas. I also asked others, what are you doing? What do you recommend? And so I had my first, it was only like a paper with some bullet points, and I called it terms and conditions. And every client bringing me a dog or working with me in the personal coaching had to sign that he is agreeing with it. And this was brilliant. And with every new incident, I actually learned new things. And later, after we made the third year multiple 6 figures and then my first 7 figures, I then hired just a lawyer, right? I hired a lawyer, and he had to create very clean and according to the law, right, papers, and this was very beautiful. And every few years I hired again a lawyer to go over these documents. But you don't have to work with a lawyer in the first hand, and you know it, especially when you are an experienced entrepreneur, how it's working. Just start, especially in the beginning when we don't have the budget yet. Um, Start with what you are clear about and go with that. It's the most important because you are then so aligned, and people subconsciously feel that they cannot just playing games with you. Can be that some are trying, of course, but yes. So, speaking of trying, there is the next topic, the next shift I recommend to you coming in this game, and this is a list of values. Write down your values. That's so important. The values will help you to actually execute your rules and also to act according to your rules. The values can be like in my world, it's integrity, loyalty, sincerity, clear communication, always talk with each other no matter what. Going and actually helping with everyone's potential, together successful, create things together. Yes, clarity overall. Is that there's some values from my world. Make a list, write it down, enjoy it a few years, a few hours, and just get clear about your values. Also ask with others. Let's say if you are in a community, if you are in my soul calling portal, you could ask anytime there. I just want to be clear, get clear about my values. What are yours? Tell me and inspire me and tell me why, right? This is helping you so much easier to actually execute your rules and to not only say A, but only do B, also do B, right? We tell that in German. A sagen und auch B sagen. If you say something or if you tell what would happen if this or that is not created or not coming or not happening for you and this relationship, and you actually want to say like it's not a threat, right? It's really not a threat. It's just telling what would happen as a consequence, and you're just telling it and never doing it. People nowadays feel it. But if you act according your values, which could be the congruency, integrity, means also that you actually go with whatever you live and tell, right? That you not only are preaching drink water, but you actually drink wine, right? So the values help you so much to set up and to go with your rules. And it makes so much easier for you because it's like a why in your brain and your system. So the third point is actually the communication part. And let's imagine you can only communicate about a critical thing if when you are clear about the rules and about the values, right? But it's not enough actually. It really needs that you are able to hold a space and to listen. Because even if someone is actually not acting according the rules they signed in a contract with you, even then, I think in the most cases, especially in my world, I don't know how it is in your world, but I rarely attract people who are betraying, right? If they are doing it, then it's more accidentally or because they have subconscious big thing, very very close to their throat. Actually, they unconsciously feel like that their life is in danger. It's often subconsciously. I'm luckily not often in this position to go through these things with someone in my kingdom, but it happens, especially when those people are not never learned to feel safe to communicate very clear and honest, even if it's about their vulnerability. How do we say this? This word is so not easy. It's not easy. Vulnerability, right? So hard for people to talk about that. Most of people don't feel safe to talk about something where they are not proud of. They feel worried to lose literally their face. But if we create this culture, and it's coming from our rules and values. If we create this culture that we always can feel safe with communication and that we can communicate, especially when we don't lie but take responsibility, then we learn that we are safe and not in danger, but we face the thing and take the responsibility very clear, right? So it's not people pleasing or saying I'm sorry so that the other is declaring, oh, it's okay, thank you for saying sorry. It's not about these things. This is only like not really congruent, right? It's only then playing games. But when we actually create a culture of a really true communication, which also means that we can address what we actually perceive, the elephant in the room, and not only talk about the thing what the other person or we think would the other person not hurt. We must, as a leader, we must be able to have this communication and go with the fact that probably the other person feels hurt even if we don't hurt, if we don't attack, and if we are clearly not in a war. Some people behave like in a war when they have those conversations, right? We must be able to literally create a next level master communication as soon as we realize, okay, I proved that the room is safe. We talk now about the elephant in the room, but now the other person actually is lying or showing her tooth, like, right? Or whatever. we could do in those situations when we are not familiar with safe spaces, with safe rooms when it comes to lack responsibility or thoughts or r- talking about wrong behavior or talking about breaking the rules or the contracts or whatever. But we must learn to talk about that, to bring the safe space, to hold the energy even if the other person is behaving worse, not taking it responsibly personally. It's very, very hard. For me, it was very hard, especially when those person were a long time in my world, or when I already invested so much in our relationship. Let's say in teams, I built so many teams. It's not easy then to take such unfair behavior then. But then, especially then, we have really to show up with a masterpiece of leadership. This is not meant like to just allow their behavior in contrary. But that's what I meant in the title of this video. It's coming with love, but still with boundaries. Clear communication about the love, and which must be true, of course, but also the boundaries and the consequences if things are not happening like everyone involved agreed. And doing this without drama and without bad consciousness. And this is actually a really hard part because, especially for us women, I think, we are open hearted, we are so affected, very fast affected, right? But for me, it was a very relieving part to learn that it's a little bit a masculine energy, to learn, hold the space, leading in this energy, also leading the masterpiece, not losing the goal for everyone involved, but clearly speaking about the things with an open heart, with listening, with feeling these feelings without that I stick with a story or a drama, but actually really believe in the best part of the other person, while I don't lose the goal of this conversation. And it really doesn't matter which rules you have. As I just mentioned, it's so important that you create rules and that you are clear about your values. It's not important which one they are. There are. I don't believe that there are in this company better rules than in other companies. I don't believe in that. I believe in congruence and alignment. And when rules are really fit to this soul path, this soul business, this personality, this branding, then it is. Even if it's not the same like in my kingdom, right? The most important is that you create the rules, the values, which are literally the why of the rules, and that you learn to communicate according all that, especially when the things are getting hard. That's actually what I always tell you when it comes to the archetype of the warrior. If you don't know my archetypes, go back and take your time to watch the videos about that. The warrior is this part in us which is not forced to fight. It's not meant to go into wars, but we are clear about the skills. We train them every day, and we can do it in our sleep, like having those hard conversations according to our rules and our values, especially when it's getting hard. I hope this makes sense. We have some live here. Say hello. I would love it. So these are the three things I wanna give you with that. Let me know how you handle conflicts and times in your company where people are breaking rules. Let me know how you deal with that, or how you can go with my through really precious clarity shifts. I think they make a big difference, especially the third one. And if you still listen now, I just want to say hello in a special way, to invite you to accept my, it's like a certification or yeah, because someone who was listening so long is actually really interested. So, hello, welcome in my world. You are literally a guardian of the flames in my kingdom. Claim the flame with writing the word flame in the comments, so that we both know what we talk about. So, as a conclusion, rules are not here to dominate others or to not respect others, the rules of others. It's just important for your business because it's literally like a known world, a known kingdom. You know, I call my world kingdom. So build your business on clear, unshakable values and hold them naturally, and especially when it gets hard. Then you actually realize not only how important and how good and supportive these rules and values are for you, but also you realize that the respect of the people is getting real. And I know especially women don't love to talk about respect, but it's a thing. It's very important. As soon as we really tap in our truth, in our authority, in our whatever we are here for, really take this energy on, it's very important that we learn about the thing which is called respect. It's not about dominance, it's not about manipulation, not at all. It's just a natural thing. And we are also habit animals, it's just true. And we know that from science with wolves or dogs or other habit animals, that we feel respect and everything is literally like clear, right? We just accept and don't ask or betray. Just get clear with it. Hi Barbara, it's you. So nice to have you. So developing this inner clarity to enforce your boundaries with calm, without drama, without guilt. That's a very important one. So that no one's different values or attempts to test your limits can pull you off your path. That's such a thing. And when others actually want to avoid their clarity in rules, values, and how to communicate with them, especially when others are testing them, they want to avoid all that because they think it's a bad feeling, and I am very happy. It's important for me what others are thinking about me. I just want to invite you to test it out, because it's so much easier and so supportive to be clear and very in a clear high value integrity against your own life and your own path. And with that also against, it's a bad word, but you know what I mean, concerning everyone involved actually, because it always relieves the whole pack. We are animals, habit animals, pack animals. Yes, we human are it as well. So it's relieving for everyone involved when there are clear rules, aka boundaries, and when they are led from a consequence but very heartfelt position, and when there are values which create this way and people are feeling it and realizing it, oh my god, it's aligned, it's totally fair, I signed that, I went with that, so I'm fine with it. When you go to a conversation which is critical with this back up, literally, you feel not only much more relieved ahead this conversation, but also in the conversation you feel literally supported, you feel literally your spirit team, your soul and God with you and this person, because it's not a fight, but it is a big leadership, because often the other person is not there where you are, and this is not good or bad, it's just like that. Often it's like that, unfortunately. Often these incidences that don't happen when the other person would be on the same level, eye level like you, with your values and clarity. But it doesn't matter. We get the better leaders, we learn again, and we get certainly the better coaches. I'm very, very sure about that. So let me know what you are thinking about this topic today. It was a little bit less dreamy and souly like in others, but it was very important for me to talk about that. And I also saw in the and actually I studied and tracked the numbers tonight, and I saw that one of the reels which went through the roof was a reel called, let me let me catch the topic. It was the name. Where is it? Your business, your rules. Very interesting, right? Your business, your rules. This really went through the roof. So I thought, okay, let's talk about that a little bit deeper tonight. And if you think, okay, I don't know this Chantal, or it's not the first video, but I really don't know her, but I want to work with her. I work with experienced entrepreneurs which feel the next chapter is calling, but they don't know what it is. And it's really annoying and energy consuming, then this is the right place for you. You just go, and it's spiritual, yes. We just go ask your soul, what the next chapter is. And this is mind blowing. And believe me, everything what you already created in your past life, and others will tell you it's very successful, it was only the beginning, because it's a mission and a legacy waiting for you to get developed. So don't wait. Just click the link. I have actually the WhatsApp link below the video. It's for you. Write Kingdom, and then I know what we talk about. And I see you then tomorrow. Bye bye. Next live stream.